Hey guys, welcome to a sneak preview of our upcoming show on the Nerd Box, the Popcorn Confessional. And in this show, we will be reviewing movies every week after me and my wife go to the movies. Little ritual that we've been doing for about 5 or 6 years. And in this episode, we are going to be reviewing Voyagers, directed by Neil Berger.
I don't think the cast on this one really needs too much introduction, especially the first character. Selah is played by Lily Rose Depp. I think her name just kind of... she's Johnny Depp's daughter, in case anyone didn't catch on to that.
Wow. Well, neither one of us knew that, and while we were watching the movie, we're like, man, what did we see her in? Mm-hmm. What did we see her in? Couldn't figure it out until we looked it up at the end, and it was like, oh, it's Johnny Depp's daughter. I can totally see that now, because just like from here up, It looks just like her, and it has almost the same presence. Who else is in the movie?
We have Christopher, played by Ty Sheridan. Ty Sheridan is not huge, but he's also not known. He was in Ready Player One, and he was in the Zombie Apocalypse, the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Really good movie. And then we have Colin Farrell as
the Irish
Richard.
Guy.
Yeah, the Irish guy, Colin Farrell. And Finn Whitehead as Zach.
All right, so let's jump into what the movie is, and then we'll discuss what we thought about it. So, picture this movie a little bit like The Island. It came out in around 2005, maybe 2004. So you have a pandemic type of crisis going on the planet Earth. And in order to sustain the race, what they do is they find a planet that is habitable for the human race. And it's going to take 86 years to get there. So what they have to do is they start creating these test tube babies, and they're raising them to take this journey where they won't eventually reach the planet, but their grandchildren will reach the planet, and they'll be able to sustain life there. Mm-hmm. Now, Colin Farrell's character... what is his name? Richard?
Richard, he's a scientist.
So he is in charge of raising the kids on planet Earth, but decides that they need protection, and he really doesn't have anything that's holding him to staying on planet Earth. So he's going to make that voyage with them to get them set up. And so, like I mentioned, it's a lot like The Island, and we have the kids, as we see it, we fast forward to where they're teenagers, and essentially what's going on is they're just going through the motions every single day. Get up, do work, eat, sleep, get up, do work, eat, sleep. Well, Zach and Christopher, they noticed something funny about a reading that they picked up, and essentially what they tied it back to is this little blue drink that you've probably seen in the trailer that they're drinking every morning.
And that's what they call it. The blue drink.
Yeah.
Or they call it blue, I think. Just blue.
The blue drink. That's what it is. The blue drink. So, essentially, they tie it back to that, and Christopher has questions for Richard on why they're drinking that, and he doesn't really have a reason for why they're drinking it, other than that, that's a part of their routine. It's to make them stay stable, meaning their health, and help them, move on to the next chapter in their lives. Well, Christopher and Zach, they decide to be a little bit of a rebel there, and they stop drinking the blue drink. And what that leads to is essentially the kids, those two guys, they start acting like normal teenagers. So the blue drink was suppressing their hormones. And now you have these two guys that are now getting all these hormones just thrown at them. And they're running through the spaceship, they're wrestling with each other. It's a full-on testosterone fest in the movie.
Until Zach takes it too far and...
Well, no spoilers.
That's it. He just takes it too far.
No spoilers. So, essentially what happens is, because they stop drinking the blue drink, they start talking to other people, and there's a bit of a mutiny on the ship. And that's all I'm going to say about this movie.
The blue drink is essentially like a mood stabilizer.
Yeah. It's the new version of Red Lid. What? That's what it is. They're essentially numb. If anybody remembers the 80s and the early 90s, what Ritalin did to kids, this is essentially what the blue drink is doing. It's making them zombies where they're just going to work and...
going through the motions.
Yep.
That's it.
No feelings, nothing.
Yeah, no real emotion, no feelings, no hormones. Now, and by this point, they're in their early 20s, so...
You think so?
Yeah, no, it said they were 24.
Oh, I missed that part. So, let's get into talking about the movie. So, when, because of the pandemic, there's hardly anything to see every single week. So, when I found out I had to see this movie, I was like, Jesus. I'm not a fan of sci-fi films. And, I do like Colin Farrell. Seeing the trailers, nothing enticed me to see this movie. So, I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to sit in this movie and drink a little special drink that we drink at the movie theaters. With a flask. And so we just went there to have a good time and escape, the everyday life. And I'll have to say, I'll let you talk about the movie first.
Okay, well, if he's not a sci-fi fan, I'm even less of a sci-fi fan. You're talking to a person who doesn't like the Alien versus Predator movies. I, in fact, don't even like The Thing. I know. Shoot me now. I don't like sci-fi. It's not my thing. I don't get into it. I don't like TV shows that are sci-fi, movies that are sci-fi. Just the whole genre is not for me at all. Did not want to see this movie. In fact, the joke was when I texted my husband, I said, our movie choice for Tuesday is Voyagers. That was it. He didn't even know what it was. That's why he said, oh, the one with the Irish guy, Colin Farrell. Didn't want to see this movie at all.
So that's it? You just didn't want to see the movie? So that's your thoughts on the movie?
Oh, no. Pleasantly surprised. I loved the movie. Had me at the edge of my seat a few times. Him too. Like, he literally was on the edge of his seat. I mean, there were, moments where it was okay, this is a little, far-fetched, but, again, it's sci-fi, so I feel like that kind of goes along with that genre. Sci-fi tends to be a little far-fetched sometimes, because it's out of the realm of, everyday, normal things that happen. Clearly, it's not something that happens now. It's in the future. So, who are we to say if it's going to actually happen that way or not? But I was definitely pleasantly surprised. I very much enjoyed the movie, and I would watch it again.
I'm going to say this. If you like the movie Lord of the Flies, you're going to like this movie. So, while it is sci-fi, the story comes over so well that you kind of forget that it's sci-fi.
Yes.
And it almost feels like a horror movie.
Yeah.
The way it's brought out.
Yes.
But, yeah, I was on the edge of my seat towards the end. Kind of didn't know what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. There was some surprises in there that I didn't expect, which was really nice. Mm-hmm. And the movie was really, really, really good. Not only would I see it again, but I would most likely purchase it. Mm-hmm. And which is kind of hard to do if you like to own hard copies, which we found out today. We went to Best Buy and there's only 8 feet of movies. So I don't know where the hell I'm going to get this movie in 3 months. So I'll probably have to order it online. But definitely worth checking out. It is suspenseful. Acting was done. The acting was really good. Mm-hmm. And the character development was really good too. I actually cared about the 4 characters that we talked about. Mm-hmm. And the side characters. And there is even a character that's like Piggy.
Yes.
So hopefully that's not a spoiler for you guys, but I'm not saying what happens to that character. Just like Piggy.
Maybe it isn't. There are some people out there who don't know who Piggy is.
True. Shame on you if you don't.
Really?
So what's your rating on this one?
I'm gonna give it an A.
An A, a solid A.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, since it's been a few days since I've seen it, I'm going with an A-. On the verge of A. Definitely worth watching again and watching with the family at home. There is one scene that you have to cover kids' eyes for, so just be on the lookout for that. But definitely worth watching. So,
something worth mentioning is that if you want to know the exact scene before you see it, you can check out IMDb Parents Guide. Yeah. We do that a lot. before we let our kids watch certain things, because we'll know exactly, just based on their description, we'll kind of know what to look for and where the scene is coming. And then we can, cover their heads with blankets or make them hide their eyes or whatever.
Unless it's a movie we're really excited to watch, like Behind the Mask, and you totally forget everything that's coming.
Yeah, you totally forget that there's, those scenes that your kids can't see.
So we hope you enjoyed this sneak preview of the show. This is actually going to be up on the YouTube channel where our screen test didn't make it. Maybe one day we'll release it. Maybe we won't. If you're on our Facebook page, you'll probably see it. If you're on our Facebook Nerdbox group page, you'll probably see it. But if not, feel free to let us know in the comments what you think about this movie. If you see any comparisons to other movies, what did you think of the characters? It looks like little Miss Depp is going to be a nice actress, or a very good actress, as her career progresses. Hopefully she'll win an award where her dad
let's
hasn't.
Just say that this was a big step up from Tusk.
Yeah.
She was in that.
So, again, let us know what you think in the comments. If you like this movie, give us a like. Subscribe to the channel. Right now, I know it may say Women in Horror in it, but we are going to be Nerdbox. Probably by the time you see this, we will be Nerdbox. So if you know what we're talking about, sorry. And see you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.